Have a good evening. Asante. You're Dago? Ushasema. Asante.
Mimi Waweru John KJ Kiarie nikiwa nimechaguliwa kama mwanachama wa bunge la kitaifa, na hapa kwa jina la Mwenyezi Mungu kwamba nitakuwa mwaminifu na mtiifu kwa watu wa Jamhuri ya Kenya.
My name is John Kiarie Waweru and I'm member of Parliament for Dagoretti South constituency, representing one of the 17 constituencies in Nairobi. In all honesty, I was a most unlikely candidate and the most unlikely person to be in politics, bearing in mind what my background was.
Sana bwana mwenyekiti, wakaguzi, walimu na wanafunzi wenzangu. Leo hii niko hapa mbele yenu nikisimama wima kama fisi.
But I did find myself vying for elective position in 2007. Alafu pia mwaka wa 2013 nilikuwa nimehusika kwa mambo haya ya siasa, lakini mwaka wa 2013 sikuweza kufika kwenye ballot. Hata niliwachia siasa ya 2013 pale kwa nomination, lakini hatimaye Mwenyezi Mungu kupitia kwa nguvu ya wananchi wa Dagoretti niliweza kuchaguliwa mwaka wa 2017. And you can say God is faithful because that which was stolen in 2007, that which was stolen in 2013, niliona 2017 kwa sababu kura ya 2017 ilipoanza kuhesabiwa niliona ni kama wananirudishia ile kura yote ambayo nilikuwa nimevurugwa 2007, yale mambo nilikuwa nimehadaiwa mwaka wa 2013, na nikapata nafasi ya kuwawakilisha wana Dagoretti. Kwa sasa mimi niko hapa bungeni, so maybe tuingie bungeni uone bunge vile ilivyo, au sio? So every morning and probably sometimes twice a day, this is the door that I come through to come and make to come and do my duty of representation for the people of Dagoretti South. Karibuni. Nilipokuja bungeni nilikuwa na matarajio kadhaa. You know, you come to parliament and there are certain expectations of what parliament should be. Lakini kwa awamu hii, kwa wakati ambao nimepata kuhudumu hapa bungeni, naweza sema kwamba ni muhimu kwa wananchi wajue vile ambavyo mnasikia wakisema kwamba parliament in plenary is parliament in exhibition, but parliament in committee is parliament at work. So most of the work that I've been able to do in the time that I've been here has been what I've been able to do through the committees that I have been able to serve in. I've served in the Committee of Information, Communication and Innovation. I've also served in the Committee of Justice and Legal Affairs, and it is in these committees that you realize that we've been able to process quite a lot of business, and uncountable motions have been brought, uncountable bills have been brought through these committees, some of which are memorable in my time, are that we've been able to bring up the Copyright Amendment Law of 2018, which we also amended this year in 2022, the Data Protection Bill, the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Bill, and all these are bills that have been useful in moving forward the whole sector. So in those 4 years, I've been able to do quite a bit in terms of bringing my own private motions, in terms of supporting motions that come to the floor, but more so even critiquing government, oversighting government, and contributing to all the main bills that have been brought to Bunge in the time that I've been here. Quite a number of people thought that I would join the Kenya Young Parliamentarian Association, but I didn't. I didn't because when I was in the youth movement, I was among those people who used to agitate. We used to say that when someone clocks the age of 35, they should not involve themselves in youth matters directly. So I may be a youthful member of parliament, but constitutionally, I am not under the age of 35. So I decided I will not join KYPA because youth, as defined by the UN, is someone between the age of 14 and 24. As described by our constitution, it is someone under the age of 35. So when I got into parliament, I thought it would be wrong for me to join KYPA while there are many other young members of parliament who would be able to join. And so even when they said that, because I was under 40 when I came here, when they said that they are lifting the bar to allow people under the age of 40, I decided that I will not join KYPA. But that does not mean that in my own capacity as Member of Parliament of Dagoretti South, and also a representative of the people, it does not mean that I have not participated in pushing the youth agenda in Bunge. In fact, I have been very vigilant. I have also been very active in pushing the youth agenda in Parliament on all matters that have been brought here, whether it has an angle that attends to the plight of children, whether it is an issue to do with education, whether it is an issue to do with enterprise, and all these are matters that touch the youth angle. Because many people think that being a young member of parliament is to just stand up and say, sisi kama vijana, we as the young people, but we've got to remember that when a road is built, that road will be used by young people. When a school is built, it is built for young people. When we discuss matters to do with the price of fuel, most of the people in the transport sector are youthful people. So in the time that I've been here, I've had opportunity to push quite a number of issues in the youth agenda. But most importantly, I am also the president of the World Scout Parliamentary Union. The World Scout Parliamentary Union is parliamentarians who are in scouting. So I am the president of World Scout Parliamentary Union, but I'm also the global vice president of the World Scout Parliamentary Union. Here in Kenya, the scouting movement is the biggest youth movement in the country. We have over 2.5 million young people who subscribe to the scouting movement. So my contribution to the youth agenda has been mainly in supporting motions that are youth friendly, but also leading this caucus, this massive caucus that is called the World Scout Parliamentary Union. Well, in the time I've been here in Parliament, of course there's been a lot of growth for me personally, but also in my career as a politician. And it is in Parliament that you come to learn that the interests of the nation can actually supersede the interests of an individual and the interests of a certain side of the house. Whether you're in the minority side or in the majority side, the issues that have to do with Kenya have to become bigger than the sides that we have taken politically. The other thing I have realized is that there is something called political mistakes. One can make a mistake politically that can cost you many, many years from today. But also in my growth here, I have also learned that what is said on the floor of this house has so much bearing on how we run our country, how the government is run, but also how it impacts on the life of 55 million Kenyans who do not get the opportunity to serve in this house. So one of the biggest lessons that I have learned is that it is a big privilege to be accorded the opportunity to serve in Parliament, because if you counted the number of Kenyans who have been honored with the opportunity to walk through the doors of Parliament, you will find that it is a very small group of Kenyans who have been accorded such privilege. So that is why I make sure that I do not miss my sessions in Bunge, and when I get to Bunge, I make sure that if there is a matter on the floor of the House, I research thoroughly before I stand, because I realize that what goes into the Hansard is very important, because not only does it define the issue that is being debated on the floor, it also defines the Member of Parliament who is canvassing that matter on the floor of the House. I have also come to learn that politics should not and can never be taken to be enmity. Those people you see pushing different positions out there in rallies, in barrios, in public gatherings, and you see them pushing very hard positions. When they get to Parliament, they're actually colleagues, they're friends. They will be high-fiving about the rally that was held over the weekend. So for Kenyans out there, just know that the people who are inside this Parliament, when they come to Parliament, ni marafiki, ni maboy, wanagoteana huku mbaya sana. So wewe kama mwananchi, Usichukue siasa ukazichukua zikawa personal. Ati unapigana na mtu kwa sababu ati mtu anasimama position fulani ama anasimama position fulani. Zile viti ambavyo viko hapa bungeni ni viti vya wananchi, ni viti vya Kenya. Hakuna kiti ambacho kimeandikwa jina la mtu. Kwa hivyo jua wale ambao unatuma hapa bungeni, unawatuma kufuatilia maslahi ya wananchi kule mashinani. Lakini muhimu zaidi, wale ambao wako hapa sio maadui. Unaweza ona wakipigana kule cheche kali kwenye mikutano za kisiasa, kwenye mabaraza kule mtaani, lakini wakifika hapa bungeni ni mabeshte, wanasalimiana, wanagoteana, hata wanaongea mambo ya vile walivuruga wakati fulani na wakati fulani. So unafaa ujue kama mwananchi kwamba walio huku sio adui, na wewe usikuwe adui na mtu kwa sababu ya siasa.